Good morning, everyone. Today's gospel really presents a problem for a lot of us about the workers in the vineyard. It's really kind of tough when you think about it. Workers hired at various times throughout the day, and when it comes time for pay, this is where the problem comes in. Some worked a couple of hours, some worked the whole long day, maybe 10, 12 hours. And our first thought is, it doesn't seem fair. And really, those who work the 10 or 12 hours, they probably had a very good, justified argument when it came to pay. But let's look at it. There were those who were hired at dawn, mid morning, probably around 9 o'clock. There were those that were hired at noontime, mid afternoon at maybe 3 o'clock, and late afternoon, maybe around 5, 6 o'clock. But who do we identify with? Just think for a moment. Do you identify with those who worked a long, hard day, 8, 10, 12 hours? Or with those who only worked an hour or two? Well, we'd like to identify with those who only worked maybe an hour or two and got a full day's wage. But when we work a full long day, we think, oh, we should be getting more. We deserve more. Yeah, real challenge, isn't it? And we wonder, how fair is it? How just is it? Well, let's look at those laborers. Okay, that argument of those who worked the full day. You kind of wonder, where was the great pickers union when you needed it? Or where was that employee employer agreement? Or where was the labor force? I mean, no one to complain to. But you know what? They were all hired under the same condition. There was that trust. And so, was the vineyard owner, was he really unjust? Well, in our heads, we think, yeah, it was very unjust. But you know what? Where are our hearts? Because that's what's important. All of those workers, whatever time of the day they were hired, they wanted to work. And they went to the marketplace wanting to work, and they were not hired right away. And so they stayed there hoping that someone would come by and hire them. Much the same as a temp agency today. There are many people who want to work and they go to the temp agency early in the morning and they wait, hoping that there may be a job available in the course of the day. Well, the landowner did something also very unusual. He started with the last group and ended with the first when it came to pay. And just picture this. Those who only worked a couple of hours, they got a full day's wage. Oh, they had to be happy as could be. And what do you think the other workers were thinking. I'm sure they were thinking, oh my, I'm really going to get a lot more money because I worked longer. Well, we know the parable and we know the outcome. And the landowner said to them, are you envious because I am generous? That really mirrors how God deals with us. You know, He is so generous. And just think for a moment, what would you want? Would you want God to be fair and just with you? Or do you want God to be very generous in His forgiveness and mercy? And, you know, how are we in dealing with others? Are we fair or are we generous with our mercy and forgiveness of others? You know, let's go to the words of Isaiah from our first reading. My thoughts are not your thoughts, and your ways are not my ways, says God. So what do you want? Do you want God to be fair and just with you? Or do you want Him to be generous? I think we all want God to be generous with us in His mercy and forgiveness. Have a beautiful Sunday. Have a beautiful week. And most especially, continue to follow the COVID-19 guidelines. May God bless you all.